Hello and welcome again to another video. Today I'd like to talk about psychopaths, what makes them, who they are, what they do, how they think, and much more. I'll be talking about two psychopaths today called Charles Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer. These are two of the most infamous and most well-known psychopaths around the world. I live in Belgium and I know both of them. You probably know him. He probably knows him. Everybody probably knows him. But what did they do? What made them who they are? Those will be the questions I will be answering for you today. First, let's start with Charles Manson. Charles Manson didn't see himself as a human being. He saw himself as a prophet. He saw himself as a god, something more than us. He saw himself as an upper being. I'm sorry. My English is a bit broken sometimes, but yeah. He has been into crime since he was a little kid, and he still was till the moment he died. The crimes he committed when he was younger were that he owned an underground casino, he stole cars, he stole wallets, he stole money, he did this, he did that, he did multiple crimes when he was a kid. His mom never really loved him the way she should have. He had a really bad childhood, no education, or almost no education, and a really, really, really bad education in general. He first went to a normal school for normal children, then he went to a Catholic school for delinquents since he kept running away from school. His mom tried to give him away multiple times. Once his mom actually gave him away to a bartender for a single beer. His uncle needed to find that bartender and look all around town for him. His original name also wasn't really Charles Manson. His original name was something else. He got the name Manson from his first stepfather. He took the name from the first boyfriend of his mom. He also dreamt of being a musician from starting from when he was a kid. He wanted to be a musician. He also tried to achieve this in multiple ways. That's how he became who he is, by music. His original plan was to become a famous musician, running with the Beatles and the Queen and whatever. He also first heard a song of Queen, not Queen, the Beatles, and then he looked up the album and he thought it was about the Four Horsemen and the Bible. He thought the Beatles meant that there needed to be another race war. So no one was starting that race war, so he thought I might as well do it myself. He also had 3 sons. He was an unwanted child, and he was worshipped by hundreds. When he started making music, he got his followers really soon. When he started doing music, people liked his music, so they wanted to be with him. However, there was no drugs involved whatsoever. Well, they say there wasn't, but who knows. He ordered his followers to kill the Tatum family, hence the Tate murders. Not Tatum, Tate murders. Since he committed those crimes, he has been in prison ever since. He died a couple of years ago, but the Tate murders were actually the start of a race war, in his opinion. He wanted to blame it on black people, and he wanted everyone to hate black people and black people to hate white people. That's why he did what he did. He thought, if I killed some celebrities who were white and blame it on black people, everyone will start hating black people very soon. And luckily that didn't work. Next up is Jeffrey Dahmer. This is a very special kind of psychopath. He killed for obsession and because he had an urge. He didn't do it because he wanted to, he did it because he felt like he needed to. His first murder was actually unplanned. His plan was different. He wanted to pick up a hitchhiker and kill him, abduct him, kill him, do everything like that. And so he did. He saw someone hitchhiking, he just picked him up, brought him to his house and killed him in front of him. His family, well, not his family, in front of his house. He kept some of the bones and skulls because he wanted to keep the people that he murdered. He wanted to keep the people, not kill them. He just wanted to keep them without having to feed them, without needing them to drink, needing them to wash themselves. He wanted to keep people as his own without actually having to pay anything, do anything for them. That's why he killed them. He also ate some of his body parts, some of the body parts of his victims. He took pictures of his victims, multiple pictures, to remember what they would look like after they decomposed. One of his most crazy things that he ever did was that he took a skull with him to his workplace. His workplace was a chocolate factory, so he just put it in a briefcase and took it with him. His second murder was an accident. Well, not really much of an accident, more unwanted, just like Charles Manson was as a kid. He just picked up a guy at a gay bar, trying to have some fun with him, and when he woke up in the hotel room, he saw that the guy was dead, beaten to death with broken ribs, bruises all over his body, and he felt his pulse and he was dead. He had a blackout because he never actually remembered any of it, and he was the person that gave himself away to the police. He himself went to the police and confessed. So it probably is true that he had a blackout. He murdered in a total of 17 people, which 16 were in the last 4 years. He had a total of 13 years that he was free of any charges and still killing people. He saw people as objects instead of persons, just like Charles Manson saw himself as an upper being. He saw himself as living and others as non-living. He also has one survivor of his attacks, which has been in multiple lots and lots of interviews. He has been interviewed a lot. Before he committed murders, he was a pedophile. One of the victims of him was the brother of an earlier victim of his pedophilia. He fiddled with a 13-year-old boy, which was the brother of one of his victims that he killed. He also liked to watch Exorcist 3 before he actually started killing people. So he was not only insane, he knew what he was and he knew what he did. He knows what he did was wrong, but he couldn't stop it. He had an urge to kill. He couldn't stop it. Like addicted people, like for example, if you are addicted to, let's say, smoking, you'll have an urge to smoke. You can't stop thinking about smoking, and until you smoke, you want to smoke. And that was the same thing with him and his murders. He wanted to murder someone. He needed to. He couldn't stop the feeling of, I need to kill that person. All of his victims were young men that were gay. Most of them, because most of his victims he picked up at a gay bar. He felt insane, and he was insane. He still is insane, but he knew it. That's what makes him so special. He knows that he did wrong. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video of Meet This Psycho. Yoo-hoo!